Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back for, I believe, episode 18 of Astrox Imperium. At this point, we've come along a long way very quickly. Last time, I gotta be honest, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we had a look around green. We found... I know what we did. We were finding stuff for the station. We mined some more, and then couldn't find any way we could actually... Ooh, pardon me. Couldn't find any way we could actually sell it for a decent amount. Yes, I moved on to the next sector as well. I think I said I would do that at the end of it. Didn't find a tremendous amount. Some jump gates, some new stations. I think we checked both. Actually, no, I don't think I've checked Innovex, so we'll check there. Found some more, so that was nice. We found some, the radioactive one, but I can't remember the name. Dynex ore. And we found some more blueprints for stuff. Found some blueprints for things that we didn't have yet. Pumps, electronics, hydraulic assemblies, pipes, especially glass panels. But I have not done very much since the last one. We've got all the materials we need for the next station upgrade, but we need money, which I don't believe we have enough of at the moment. I think we need 2 million flat, basically, for the upgrade to a generator. Once we have a generator, we could potentially run other things alongside it. Don't know what they would be. Did we... No, we did find this station, and it wasn't worth selling it here. So, we're going to move on up to Albane. Albane? I'll check in a moment. Albaline. Or Abilene, even. How are these names? Again, the perfect name for me to think it's said one way, and then when I actually read it properly, it's not. But yes, as I said, nearly every episode so far, but I might as well remind people, for those who are jumping on, perhaps, we're trying to do an economy playthrough. We're trying to play through, make some money, build up some ships and things, build some components and sell them for money, hopefully. The mining, we're trying to focus more on the non-combat side of things, although we will be moving on to combat when I feel a bit better set up. We've got a station in production. We could build one of those like NPC style stations, and we've got one being made. But it's like a several step up very progress, so we've got all the parts we need for the second step, but we need more money. Wow, this sector is a dirt pile. Looks reasonably pretty. It's got some reasonably rare ore, but really not much, huh? Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. They can't all be winners. Right. However, it looks like we have finally finished exploring green space. So, let's set a... Oh my god, it's a long way back. Let's set a course for Gemini Shoal, where our work in progress station is. And after that, I guess we have to focus on making some money. We want to build our next station, because at the moment, we've got about 1 million. We need twice that. And we're going to need more of that for the later steps. We also want, when we can, to hire some mercenaries. I'd like to try hiring maybe a big mercenary ship if I can. I can hire up to level 5 for mining, pretty much nothing else. Turns out your faction rep seems to be a limiter of how much you can hire. I think that's right anyway. So science we could hire level 1, trade, I don't think we could hire anything. Extractors we could hire up to level 5. Simple apparently don't like us. I don't know what we did for that, whether that was the... I was going to say it was like the one assassination mission we did, but I don't think we continued from that, did we? By the way, they don't like us as much, so... But yes, we'll check in on some stations on the way back. If we see anything that looks like a major station, maybe. Because again, we want to hire those mercs. Don't know how much we're going to be paying them. They do have a pay rate. I don't know how often they are paid. I couldn't find anything on that. I was doing some research, but my computer crashed while I was out for lunch, so... all the websites I had open have gone, so... Not like I couldn't find it if we needed to, but for now... I think the best way to find out might just be to do it and... So things go. We can apparently deactivate them and leave them in a station, so it's not like we have to stick with them if they're costing us a fortune. And I don't think it's going to be that high anyway. But yes, I am wondering... The other thing as well... as I just remembered, I knew there was something. I did have a go at designing my own ship at the ship editor, so we're going to be keeping an eye out for that showing up as well. I've tried to keep it balanced. Who knows whether it actually is or not. But it's a ship that would be useful to us. It's, again, hopefully not broken. It's going to cost a bit. And it's going to need some skill training that we don't have. But I figure that's, you know, a worthy sacrifice to pay for what should be quite a good ship. Interestingly enough, when I was looking through the ships, a lot of them didn't need very high training. Like, they didn't need to be particularly high level to operate them. I couldn't really see any that needed beyond level 3 training in this ship type. I don't know whether that's like the devs leaving themselves a bit of room for the future. I genuinely don't know, but I thought that was interesting that none of the ships actually required it yet. Yeah, we'll check in Value Star. I'm pretty sure this was fairly major station. I was totally wrong. So our new ship here. Uni, I think we've already checked all of these, so probably not going to be worth taking any of these. Gemini shop. And dock. Okay, it really does sound like a petrol engine. It does sound like we're in a big space truck, basically, is how I would describe it. Yeah, good sound design. Sounds like what it actually is. I am still surprised we can't interact with any of this debris. There's lots, unless... No, because it'd be able to target it, right? If it was salvageable, we'd still be able to target it. I guess the idea is it's been stripped of anything useful, but you think even the metal beams would be worth something if just to melt them down again. And there's no shortage of them. Ponds? Oh yeah, back through the spooky zone. Little red star shining away at me over there. Which I can target, apparently. Not that I'm going to have long enough to do so. Don't know if scanning stars actually does anything for us. There is definitely some rewards to scanning things, and obviously we've got scanning missions. Oh, Omnitrust was quite big, I think. Let's try that. And it's on the way, so... I think. Yeah, because I think it was taking us through Veloxy. No, another one where I'm apparently wrong with that. I'm apparently just really bad at guessing. Yeah, this is another thing we could do interestingly enough. I don't know quite how this works, but we can apparently train or pay our mercs to... Or send our mercs in to... run parts of the station, basically, and I don't know whether the pay rate is money we make, or we have to pay them that much, or what, but... I like how the autopilot remembered where we were going as well. I didn't press anything there, it just automatically was like, well, you were going this way. So you can sort of do really easy stop-offs along the way at various places. If we do have a fair ways to go. Yeah, I think the stations have been quite mediocre here, but like in the red zone, there haven't been so many big ones. At least the red one had one quite impressive one that was the... I can't think what it was called, but it was the mining station where he bought some kit. We even marked it on the map because it was particularly good. We should probably try and remember to mark some of these, but they got to mark it. Are you interested in this? No. Okay, we'll keep it. It's valuable enough that it's worth doing that. Shipyard. I am checking the shipyards for our new ship. I don't know, again, how they are added. I don't know whether they will just show up, or whether we need to do something specific to add them into our current game, or whether they only spawn in new games. I do not know. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye out. And it might come up. There have been the occasional news reporting game that said, like, oh, new ship type available so in so-and-so. So it might be they've just been added to the list and they could potentially get spawned in there. I do not know. Not ominous at all. And interesting how they built the two halves of the ship out of the same piece mirrored and then very slightly offset. I guess that's to avoid Z-fighting, but it's an interesting look. So very slightly asymmetrical. A very slight offset. Yeah, so this rate looks like we're gonna... Why did we mark this area? We haven't. Not sure why this area is marked, unless it's because where we are. I think it's where we are. So it's interesting. Did we mark Gemini Shore with... Like Progress Space Station? We did. As we say, did I mark the area as come back to here, basically? And I did. We might even just take the Zyor back and refine it, I think, at this point. So we'll drop off what we have, and then we'll head back to the home station. We're still going to need money to progress. It's probably a good spot to hire mining mercs if we go to the mining station back home. I don't know if I think we did a tour around them on the previous episode. As we say, there were stations for all the various factions back home. Industrial machine, that's us. Not what we've called it, but it's the type of station it is, apparently. Yes, we'll drop off all the parts, and then we'll be heading back to the home university, home station, whatever you call it. We've definitely still got ships travelling between it, but there's not much to see at our station just yet. Just like the neighbouring rock, which we've nearly mined out. Right, admin. Still got a few leftover scraps for a previous upgrade, but we'll leave them in there in case it needs it for further upgrading. Right. We are trying to upgrade it to a small energy generator. We have everything else, but we need 2 million. And we don't have that yet, so for the moment, I'm going to leave that there. And let's head for home. That will be our home eventually, in theory, once we've got it built up and got some mercs in it and they're trained up and ready to go for operating it. But for the moment, not really enough facilities there to act as a home. In fact, you don't even get a hangar. You just get a single screen. But yes, I'm not sure how much we're going to need, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was about 5 million we need to fully upgrade it, maybe even more. So it's going to be a little pricey to build this thing. But then again, that's why it's partly a long-term goal. Blue carbon. Or biocarbon. See what sort of things we actually need to make these parts we've got. Pretty basic stuff. Ah, that's the first one I've seen that needs titanite. Oh, and it's worth a lot. Yeah, we might try and make some of those then, because I think we'll have the parts for that. Steelium, I'm not so sure on, but we'll have a look. Can maybe buy some. They're worth a lot, so... Apparently. I don't know whether that's actually the price of the item, though, or the blueprint. I've still not been able to work that one out. Still wondering what the explanation behind the apparently tiny stars is. I really don't know if it's a perspective thing or if they are just small. I'd be able to get a better idea of how bright they were and things if I could zoom out further, but... not so... Maybe that's a settings thing I could change. Could always have a look. Graphics... Nothing I can see. Oh, UI colours? Oh. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Game speed, ship warnings timer, skill training, double click autopilot select. Mouse control, zoom to get. Oh, auto zoom to galaxy map. Ah, off. I think the rest of that's all fine. Oh, that's more like it. I can zoom really far out. Zooming in still zooms into that view, but I will take that. Right, to biomate. I think that's the mining one? No, it's not Proctor Center. It's Starbase Corporate, I think, is the mining station, so... Wait, why do we need to go there? Mining... That was it. We'll go there first, actually. It was... we're going to hire a miner That was it. At least that's the plan. And they might do us a better price for the ore. Might even be worse, I don't know. They're going to get more ore shipped in. The economy of this game is still a little bit of a mystery to me. It's a little hard to read, I suppose. I do still kind of wish we could see what was being ordered further away, I suppose I should say. So we can get like a rough lead on what's valuable in places, but... Alright, market. Unwanted. Okay, they don't want it here. That's interesting. Mining station doesn't want mined things. What do they want? Components. I think that's all salvaged stuff. Actually sell mining stuff here? Weapons, mostly. Huh. A lot of weapons, jeez. Maybe I'm in the wrong station. Maybe corporate isn't the mining one. I thought it was, though. Not. It is yellow. I think this is. Anyway, who's in the lounge? That was what we were going to check. Who's available? The rest of people elected and everything. New ships? No. Oh no, there is a new ship available. Shuttle available somewhere now. Pond security has dropped. There is stuff going on, definitely, then. Okay, mining shuttle. Mining. Let's try... Who's got a decent cargo? 2,100. Let's try hiring you. Not a positive enough standing. Let's go down a tier then. To you? You got a bit... Wow, can we really only hire level 1? No, really? We can't hire anyone? So we have to do more missions for them. Labour. Interesting. I didn't realise we wouldn't be able to hire any of them. What reputation do we need to be able to do that? I thought we had like a 5 of mining. I thought it was pretty good. Oh. Wait, no, which... Oh god, which was this? Extractors? I thought this was extractors, right? Now, we'll leave the station in a sec. I'm also just going to quickly check the shipyard here, but... I thought we were in the right place for that. That could potentially be an upgrade ship as well at some point. That's got better stats than ours. 2 million. Okay. That's what we can upgrade to. But we also need that money for something else, so, you know, we're slightly stuck there. Yeah, No, this is definitely the mining station. It's got all the mining skills in it. Time it takes to upgrade or build. I'm not worried about time. The cost would be nice. Materials for each structure you own. Cost of structure. Structure build cost. Okay. Build operation. Okay. Put down the skill point. So that would maybe be worth having because the building's quite expensive. For advanced, minor advanced systems. Yeah, a few of us seem to want to have that. Yeah, we can't afford it though. Okay, that's fine. We'll head back to the university. Hopefully that'll give me a good price on the ore. If not, we'll refine it. We might just refine it anyway. In fact, yeah, we will refine it because we want to make some of those. Yeah, I'm surprised by the mercenary thing. I didn't think that'd be that hard. It's late. Oh, that's labour. Oh, that's not extracting. That's labour. Okay. I would have thought it would be both to some extent, but... Law. I think that's trade? We'll check out the one over there in a minute. Maybe I'm getting the stations mixed up, but yeah, I thought we had a fairly... Maybe extracting lots HQ is somewhere else, but anyway. If not, I suppose we could always start taking some missions from one of them until we can hire someone. I'm surprised we have to start so small. I thought we already had quite a good rep. Alpha, yeah, because they're their own faction as well, aren't they? Mission technology. Alpha, progressive knowledge. Oh yeah, right, they're researchers, right? If I remember correctly? Yeah, market. What's Royal's Eye all worth it? Wow. For a supposedly not wanted price. That's bad. Yeah, we'll just refine. Chew it up. Let's see what we get out of it. Don't know if we can increase multiple things at once, whether it's just 6 to each. No, I think it is randomly both sometimes. Potential ships. Got some reasonably nice little ships here. The lounge. Let's have a look at the mercenaries here. Maybe we can get some of them. Recon pilots. Not really flying the right sort of thing for us, I suppose. Okay. Any skills we want while we're here? Cruiser we would like to take at some point. We can't afford it yet, but the new ship I designed is a cruiser, so we will want that skill at some point. It also has a few small bonuses to torpedoes, so we also might want that at some point as well. I'll take that now, because I'd like to be able to use them. Let's have a look in the refinery. Are we done? Oh, right, it shifts the storage automatically. Yes, we are done. Fabricator. I said we got a lot of we have a lot of recipes at this point. We're about to have quite a few ingredients in there as well. Actually, I think regulators we can't actually I don't think we can actually make anything with those. They're not raw components. Yeah, refining actually takes a long time at this point. We can quite easily fill up with enough stuff to keep it going for like half an hour kind of thing. Without much effort at all, really. Right, so we were going to have a go at making some of these. No, we do need stellium. Okay, so maybe not. Make what else have these worth? 5,000? Seems like quite a lot. No, we're missing aluminium shards. Small pumps. Missing ceramic. Okay. On glass. Not sure you get glass out of copper and iron, but okay. Missing the copper. Missing the acid for that. Tell you what, let's go outside quickly and mine some adamite and set that off refining. I think we've already actually got a lot of the basic stuff from that, but it won't hurt to have some more available. We might be back to making quite basic stuff again. As it perhaps turns out. I thought with some more advanced stuff we'd be able to make a bit more, but we need... I think you kind of need a lot of the materials, really. You kind of need to ship a lot around. Shouldn't be too bad, but again, though we can carry a lot more now. Our cargo bay is far from infinite. I think it's quite fair to say. The ideal would be refining up stuff in a local station while we dig up a few loads of ore. And then coming back and picking it up, I suppose, maybe? Bit of a trip to make, but I suppose if you went up and down one arm and got a load of different ore types, I guess maybe the purple arm, because we found a lot there. We'll maybe also, once we set it off to refine, before we make anything, we'll maybe also check out the green station and see if it's them we have, because it's extractors we're liked by, yeah. Now, I don't know where their main station is. Science also think we're okay. Yeah, trade aren't very high. That might be why we couldn't hire them. I think their trade... Or maybe we'll have to take on some other missions. But again, it is miners I'd like to hire. Again, extractors seem to like us already, so I'm not sure why we couldn't do that quest, really. Unless it's just because we do mine a lot. Maybe that just puts your reputation up, just doing that sort of activity. Maybe your lore goes up if you fight pirates, even if you don't need to. Nearly got this anyway. The rocks aren't actually particularly coming back, I noticed. They said about them growing back, but a lot of the rocks that we have just harvested as we've been going along our general life in space actually haven't come back, I've noticed. Or at least the ones we've half-harvested haven't anyway. So I do wonder, like, if you do harvest a rock, how long does it stay harvested? Do rocks respawn in asteroid belts after a while, or...? So many questions to which I do not have adequate answers. The other thing we might also do is maybe take on a mission for from this station and see if it actually increases our standings with Alpha or if it's someone else. See if it's dependent on where you take them or the actual quest itself. Right, let's go back to the fabricator. Actually, let's check what's in the refinery. What are we making? Is it anything we didn't have already? I think it is the same. Microprocessors are quite good. I think we have all the stuff for that. Yep. Got some of those off. Actually, we have a lot of material for that, so we can probably undock and go check out that other station while that happens. I think we're going to do it the other way around, but it's made more sense to me when I actually thought about it. The red was pirate, right? I think. Was this trade? Oh no, this is trade. Huh. Either way, we'll dock and have a little look in, but... yeah, weird. Cheating at... something, I can't even read it. Social scandal, oh I see. Is that random, or does that mean anything? The news elected science, Temple Award ceremony, great success. Keeping an eye out for ships. Oh, a drop in thermo is commended. Oh, waste levels, ah, okay. I thought I meant someone to drop something nice. Mercenaries. Lots of guys available. Mining. Again, mining like us. I'd have thought we'd be able to hire them okay, but I don't think we actually can. No, not enough standing. Trade. Okay. So it's the trade faction that's important for hiring those mercenaries, I guess? That I guess the idea was maybe he'd take some missions with them. Well, maybe run a mission and see how much it goes up by. Oh, I guess it's maybe these. Trade, financial. Okay. You could take that. I think we know where that is. 123. Where's that? Gandaria. Oh, it also shows on the map where we have to get it from. Okay, a little bit of an odd place, but we'll run it and we'll see how much our faction rating increases by. So I think that's the aim. Accept contract. Let's try it. Let's try it out. See if it's worth anything. Also check what ships, because we always do. Right, frigate. Helios transport, Phoebus transport, those are all small. Hexalon. Oh, we could have put a Hexalon here. We didn't even have to go out all that way. It's interesting that that was very slightly higher cargo capacity. I wonder if there's very slight variations between the ships. That would be interesting. We can leave the stuff refining in Biomate. Now, was Orange one of the ones where we got stopped part way, or we missed a station? No, okay, we have seen all of Orange. We have to bring it up to Zealous, was it? Yeah. Not too far. But we'll see how much we get our standings upgraded, see if it'd be worth just doing a few quests and getting it up. Because we'd like to hire a mining buddy. We'll maybe finish this quest and then call that for the day. That's probably good timing. Oh, this is a particularly difficult quest by any means. Mine some rocks, but, you know, work is work. And we're trying to focus on the economy side, so... or whatever that means at that point. I've said it many times, and I'm still not sure. Drones none. Oh, yeah, right, because we did a drone bay. I think some ships can... judging by what I was looking through and modding, I think some ships can operate drones by default. They already have a drone bay, I should say, even. And then I guess you can expand it. I guess the modules are more for optional. So I wonder if that works the same way with, like, the cloak, for example. If you fit a cloak... boosting module, does that give your ship cloak? Like a basic one? I do not know, but I'd be interested to see it. Hello, spooky space music. Okay, we have got them scanned. I thought we hadn't for a moment. Why the music's so ominous here? Is something special about this place? I do wonder. I'm still wondering, is there some story stuff that we haven't seen yet, or is it sandbox? Is it pretty much go out and do what you like? Because I really don't know at the moment. I feel like something's up. I feel like there's something we haven't seen yet, or haven't realised is up yet, but I don't know what it is. I also don't know why the scanner goes weird when we zoom out really far in that specific angle. Don't quite know what's up with that. The rest of this all made of. Radon, okay. Get the miners warmed up. Oh, we've already got we've already got all we needed. Take the whole rock. I don't seem to want us on the mining contracts to actually mine all that much at the moment. I wonder if the higher tier ones that we'll get later maybe want you to get a lot more. I'd appreciate if they did. At the moment, mission running doesn't seem tremendously worth it because the pay is not great. Maybe it is more for the mercenary hire than anything else, perhaps. That's kind of the point of it. Okay. Zealous. Pivot turn. Why not? Well, a first-person view for a little bit. Yeah, the slightly ominous first-person view. I like how they do it with the ship editor. You actually set where on the ship you want the camera, and you basically just put a little invisible cube in the right place where you want the camera to be. So what I might do on some ships at some point is put it somewhere where you can see part of the ship around it. Perhaps that could be quite cool. For example, if you did something like a Megatron replica, you could put it on the bridge in the middle, and you could see the big sections in front of you, perhaps. On like if you did like an X-wing, for another example, you could see the nose in front. I realised halfway through my example there, I was like, people aren't going to know what a Megatron is, are they, unless they played Eve? Mind you, if you're searching up playthroughs for this game, maybe you have. Wouldn't be too surprised. Again, there's certainly similarities. But yeah, I've been enjoying the economy stuff. I feel like at some point soon I may definitely consider switching to combat for a bit, at least to try it. But we really struggled with the first combat quest we took, so maybe what we need to do is kit the ship out a little nicer for combat. I don't know. Perhaps it's just that we're not well adapted for it. Was all the problem we had. I don't know whether this little... Yeah, not combat, what I mean. I don't know if this little transport's going to be good for combat or not, really. Well, you're very small. But we've got reasonably good shields, I think, right? What was it? Nostra. Definitely remember coming here before. Don't know if we know what actually these stations are aligned with. 0.02. Okay, so 5 missions will be enough to bump it up a level. That's not too bad. We could probably knock that out without too much time. Can't hire anyone here. They do have a market. Is this worth a bit? They've got a demand on ore, although it's not worth very much, even still. What? I'll have a look what ores they've got outside as well. Could be a case of we might do a bit of grinding because we do need more money as well, but we'll save that for next time. You'll know at the start of the next episode whether I did that or not. Depends on what's out there. And yeah, hopefully you've all enjoyed this. I'll see you all next time, where we'll maybe try and get a mercenary on board if we can. Do some missions.